In this video, I wanted to go over the full article by InsiderGaming.com going over the leaked gameplay and details of the upcoming Ubisoft Star Wars RPG. I also wanted to go over what Disney expects from their Star Wars franchise when it comes to gaming, so let's get straight into the video. So on January 2021, Ubisoft and Lucasfilm announced a partnership that would bring a story-driven, open-world adventure set at the heart of the Star Wars galaxy. However, details have been relatively thin on the ground since then, despite this seemingly being one hell of an enormous project. It's massively ambitious and it will utilize every ounce of massive entertainment, the Ubisoft studio developing the game, technological know-how, and the Snowdrop engine that has powered the likes of the Division franchise. So the sheer scale of this project is going to be huge, maybe even too huge for Ubisoft to get right. I was concerned about this until I saw their new cloud technology, Ubisoft Scalar, that could allow many processes like AI, weather chain, bodies on the ground after a gunfight be done by the Scalar cloud technology rather than the console, which frees up Xbox's and PS5's resources to do more important things. I made an entire video on this technology and how they will use it in the Star Wars game, which I'll leave in the description and the comments down below. So let's get into the gameplay. So from what we already know, the Ubisoft Star Wars game will boast a fully open, seamless universe akin to the found in No Man's Sky. In the game, players will be able to jump between systems, immersing themselves in a vast galaxy, bursting at the seams with activities. Now, because this is a Ubisoft game, the activities may just be kind of fetch quests, like find all the feathers in this area. What they need is some activities that are actually fun, like lightsaber dueling, cage fighting with a Wookiee similar to the boxing fights in Watch Dogs Legion, gambling in the cantina, monster hunting around the universe, stuff like that. Again, to achieve the No Man's Sky scale of huge, the Ubisoft Scalar technology would have to be used to make it easier for the developers. This is also a new technology, so there may be some technical glitches and bugs when we get our hands on it. Now, let's move on to the story. At the heart of the game sits an in-depth, lengthy story driven by a fully customizable character that walks a path chosen by the gamer themselves. So I'm thinking that's referring to light and dark side. There are decades worth of lore, location, weapons and characters for Ubisoft and massive entertainment to draw from, so the game itself should be something special. It may even rival Starfield, which is due to launch in 2023. The customizable character could be similar to how Knights of the Old Republic allowed you to choose between a scoundrel, a scout, a soldier, but this time with a lot more customizable options and races. It's saying that the story is lengthy and maybe even give us a light and dark side meter, a path. And the reason why I'm kind of referencing a lot of cultural stuff is because I've just started the game for the first time, so it's kind of fresh in my mind, and have consequences for our actions, which I think is a must-have in a Star Wars open world RPG. So the creative director of the game, Julian Geraghty, says this: when the Star Wars project was revealed almost a year ago, Julian Geraghty had nothing but great things to say about both the mission itself and the team involved. There are bold promises of this game being groundbreaking, but it would take more than just the Star Wars name to carry its success. This is what Julian Geraghty had to say. We want to make it a unique game in the saga with a captivating story and set of characters that players can relate to and connect with. We want to take what is familiar and resonant about Star Wars and tell the stories of new characters who have their own motivations and stakes. Because it's Ubisoft and their recent games haven't been all that well, there is some speculation how good this game will be, or will it be just another bloated large open world with no real emotion or life? With the fact that Ubisoft is now going to take start using AI to write background dialogue and to aid their creatives, only time will tell how this will affect the experience of their games. But the example Ubisoft should be looking at is Hogwarts Legacy, which just made $1 billion in sales. Everything about Hogwarts Legacy was amazing. It was made by fans of the Harry Potter franchise, and it was such an amazing game and experience that it is a contender for the Game of the Year, and I'm thinking it will win the crown. Ubisoft have lost a lot of good faith with its audience, and then now being seen as an EA level, greedy corporate, uncreative zombies that only want to stick their hands in our pockets. But let's talk about what Disney is looking for with their Star Wars games. Now, sources have suggested that the entertainment giant Disney wants a new Star Wars video game released every 6 months. It's understood that Disney wants one major AAA title and one smaller game per fiscal year, which is something Lucasfilm is set to deliver on. The ramp up in video game development for Star Wars games comes after EA lost its exclusivity access to the franchise. So far, 8 Star Wars titles have been announced to be in development, many of which do not have a scheduled release. Every Star Wars game in development are Amy Hennig's Star Wars game by Skydance Media, an untitled FPS by Respawn Entertainment, open world game by Ubisoft Massive, Star Wars Eclipse Quantic Dream, which is said to maybe be an open world game, Knights of the Old Republic remake, which is now being done by Saber Interactive Studio, Jedi Survivor, which is also done by Respawn Entertainment and just had its release, which is also a buggy mess, I think, on all platforms. I'm not sure if it was just consoles or just PC. I'm pretty sure it was on all platforms. Star Wars Hunters by Zynga, and Untitled Strategy Game by Respawn Entertainment. So Respawn's actually got quite busy with the Star Wars universe. These 8 games are the only titles that have been announced, with sources suggesting that there are several more in pre-development. Some of the already 8 announced titles are believed to be some time away from release. In fact, some of these titles are believed to be at least 4 years away. Quantic Dream Star Wars Eclipse seems to be one such title, with sources citing that the game is in development nightmare for the studio. Issues mainly stem from Quantic Dream's engine, which is apparently inadequate for such a large-scale project. Such problems have led sources to believe that Eclipse probably won't release until at least 2026. An obvious choice for a not yet announced project will be a Mandalorian game, which was tweeted by Special Nick, which the tweet was then removed. This is what Special Nick had to say. Okay, so a little bit of a whoopsie. Yeah, there's going to be a Mando game, but that's apparently not a Mando Funko. I might have just said something I wasn't supposed to yet, hoping I didn't just burn my source. Got some apologizing to do. I've heard rumors of a Mandalorian game behind the scenes for a while now, but so far these rumors have seemed to stem from speculation due to the success of the series. But if anything changes, I'll update. So that was actually from the Insider Gaming article, and they also said other smaller titles would likely be aimed at the mobile market, or smaller games like Star Wars Squadrons by Motive Studios. Whatever the future holds for Star Wars, one thing is clear: there's going to be a lot of games. So, with Quantic Dream's engine not being able to handle the Star Wars games as of now, I believe that maybe they are trying to do an open world Star Wars game, which we talked about in my recent Star Wars Eclipse video, which I'll also leave in the links down below, description, comment. So that's very exciting, and I know they're in development nightmare, but hopefully we will get it in 2026. It's not delayed even further. If so, if that is the case and it is open world, that means there are 3 open world Star Wars games coming to us very soon, and perhaps this Mando game, also in development, might be by a studio making this an open world game too. Now, open world doesn't mean a good game. It actually puts the game at a disadvantage. I think there are so many bad open world games out there, and what are the chances that all 3 upcoming open world games, let's just say 4, including this Mandalorian project, let's just say that's an open world. Imagine all 4 of these upcoming open world Star Wars games. What are the chances that every single one of them are going to be amazing incredible immersive open world experiences. It's not a very good chance. Hopefully at least one. I'm thinking the KOTOR remake has no excuse to be bad because it's literally just a remake of a game. They've got all the tools and assets, not really assets in game, but assets in terms of the story, gameplay, all that kind of stuff. They've got that at their disposal, and all they have to do is make it the best they can do. In terms of the other games, obviously that is something that is from their own creativity, from their own storytelling, which we can only wait and see with those. We should expect Witcher 3 and Hogwarts Legacy quality of games when it comes to these Star Wars games, and nothing less. If they can't deliver, then that's on the studio and not on the consumers. But as of right now, I have faith in these developers. I did not know about the Mandalorian game behind the scenes, and hopefully we get some confirmation of that soon. But I am very, very excited. Maybe even at E3, maybe, I don't know. Well, not really E3, but one of their press conferences like Summer Game Fest or something like that, or maybe even at the Game Awards at the end of the year. It wasn't long ago we were stuck with the EA Star Wars exclusives, and now we have some very, very exciting projects to look forward to. They are still a long time away, but hopefully we get some details and gameplay at the upcoming events this year. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'll leave all the videos that I've referenced in the links in the description and comment, and some other ones that I think you would enjoy. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Peace out, God bless. Hope to see you in one of my next videos. Take care, guys.